for the greater good? Question mark? Spiky Bits. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some really great Tau alternative miniatures from Kromlech. They're called Caste Enclaves, and they sent them over to us to check out their latest releases. They did a whole line of them, which we'll dive right in and take a look at right now. So if you head over to bitsofwar.com, you can get to it from Kromlech, but that's primarily their news site. Bits of War has all of these stores right here that you can purchase from, whether it's the MDF or the HDF stuff, Kromlech, or their 3D workshop as well. Now they've got a ton of stuff over here that you can really kind of crack out and go through for a while. Now the most latest releases is there's some pretty cool Orc and Goblin stuff here. Let's see if we can get to it, but we haven't got any of that quite yet. There they are. So the Cyborg Rider, so a lot of, some jungle themed orcs is currently available right now. And then you can see all the different sections right here. So we'll just go into the Caste Enclave section here, and some of the stuff currently is on sale. I don't know why they're running whatever sale they're running right now. I think they had a birthday sale here recently. Getting stuff from Kromlech is actually pretty easy. Like if I move my view screen right here, let's just slide down a bit, and you can see the slider in whatever currency you want. You can see all the different sliders right here. You can check out shipping options. They have free shipping on 150 euros, or I think it's 162. Yeah, $162 here. You can get free shipping, which it can add up kind of fast depending on what you're purchasing right here. You can see the shipping on something that's going to come in a squad size, a normal GW squad size box that's all resin. It's only going to cost $8 to ship, and and it kind of doesn't go quite up as much there depending on how much you add. So they've got a lot of different options here. They have some rewards programs too that you might want to check out depending on how often you think you might be picking the stuff up to either create your special look for your army or augment the forces you already have, which is really cool. In a lot of cases, their stuff isn't going to be cheaper than Games Workshop, than the plastics. It might be on par or cheaper than Forge World, but with all the price increases, I mean, all bets are off at this point. I feel like their stuff's going to be just as reasonably priced as anybody else's out there. And then you can start comparing it to the different things you want. Obviously, these things are designed to be a certain style, or to work as a certain unit, perhaps in Warhammer 40k. So really, it just kind of comes down to, do these work in your army? Do you like this look? Like if you're going for like a robot kind of drone type thing that isn't more like kind of Gundam or Mecha, then this stuff would probably be great for you. I really like the I guess you could use this as a piranha, this angel shark over here, which we're going to take a look at. We have one here in the studio that they sent us to. All the drones look great. I think they're really neat looking. $36 for all those. You can never go wrong with a bunch of drones. And then if we swap over and take a look at the GW side, I can tell you right now, these are probably meant to be used as great crisis suit alternatives. They don't have the legs and they're not mecha, so again, they're kind of like big drones. I get it. If that's for you, this pretty affordable, because I think the GW ones are like 80. I'm not sure on the broadsides. I want to say they're like 50 or 60 bucks now, and I imagine the piranha is probably about 40 bucks if I had to guess. But let's jump over and take a look at the GW web store just to give you an idea on some of the pricing here. Yeah, the battlesuit team is definitely 80. So one broadside is $60. Holy cow, I didn't realize that was the case anymore. I almost feel like if you're really into that look, you might want to check out the Forge World pricing. And drones, 18 for 2 tactical drones, which you kind of going to need a lot of those in your list, I think. Well, depending on what you're trying to do, but having drones is always a good thing. And then there's the piranha right there. So that's, I nailed that one. So that one's $40. So that just gives you an idea of some of the pricing and comparisons that you might want to use some of these models for. So here's what the box sets are going to look like from Kromlech. If you haven't seen this before, they're pretty nice. They got a nice cardboard box, and they're going to be shrink wrapped and everything like that, and have all the parts inside just to give you an idea. So here's that Angel Shark one that I'm pretty excited about. Then you've got the emergency drone team. Everybody needs a few emergency drones in their life. The attack drone swarm, which I guess you could use those for, well, just normal drones. And then the support drone, which those always seem to come in handy. And I guess you could use them for shield drones. Actually, all of these look like shield drones if they don't have a gun on them, I suppose, from to be quite honest with you. And then once you actually get them open and pull off the shrink wrap and everything, they have a, you know, the nice graphics and everything. And you're going to have to, these are actually sealed, I forget, because I already cracked it to take a look here. I think it's underneath here. So you just have to crack right here, and these are actually sealed. So even if the paper's open, you'll know if like something was tampered with or something like that. And then you got this really nice bubble wrap in here, and then that's when you get to all the parts inside. And this is pretty much what the parts are going to look like once you get them out of the bag and start checking them out. I mean, for coming all the way across the ocean like that, it looks like only 1 or 2 parts separated off of the sprues right here. But everything is nice and crisp, and you know, I don't see any casting defects. And you can definitely put these together using the letters and things, but they don't quite have instructions for it yet. You can use the images, and I don't think it's that much of an ask to kind of check out the images, but they do have a section on their site for instructions and you know, guides and things, but they haven't got all the resin updated on it quite yet. However, like I said, you know, taking a look at the pictures here, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to kind of figure out where all the parts go, just kind of looking at this and realizing that that's probably 2 pieces and that's 1 piece, and then you got some spines on the back, and then the weapon mounts at the top, which I'm sure have options, something like this. So you just kind of figure out which one you want to put on the top, and then I'm sure these lock in. What goes on there? Oh, the double... these probably go on there with a couple of different mounts. So I'll have to figure out exactly how all these go together here in a minute. But I don't really anticipate it being too difficult. Now let's zoom in a little bit and get a better look at the casts. And detail-wise, everything's pretty crisp. I mean, you can see there isn't like a whole lot of mold lines. I mean, you're gonna have to clip these parts out right here, and there's not a whole lot of extra work to be done. Like the casts themselves are pretty just a little bit there, but they're pretty crisp, and they got lots of detail on each side here of all these parts, and I'm liking all that. And then things that are going to be on the inside they didn't put any detail on, which kind of makes sense. But I think overall, you know, these are pretty crisp, and they should go together pretty quick once we pop all the sprues off, and kind of might have to adjust that a little bit, but not too bad here. But I think for the price point, you know, what was it, $60 for 1 broadside, or I think this was 2 for $50. Well, I know if the look works for you, you might want to go with this one. Here's how the finished product is gonna look after a little bit of assembly. It didn't go together too very hard at all, and I think the sizing's quite right compared to a Citadel Games Workshop broadside. So they're both on the same size base and have roughly the same profile, depending on, well, what weapons you put on there. Obviously, I have the missile pods and the things like that, and the secret missile right here, all magnetized poorly, or maybe it's just showing their age, I don't know. But either way, yep, that would definitely make a pretty good alternative, or counts as, to the traditional Games Workshop kit. Like I said, the savings is pretty good on this one for sure, and it definitely sizes up well, so I don't think anybody really have a problem with that. As far as the emergency drone team, I don't know why I just keep thinking of emergency, like vitamin C. Maybe it's because I was just at Adepticon taking a lot of that. This thing's pretty cool looking. It goes together relatively well. I mean, all the spines are separate pieces there, and then you can obviously choose which weapons you want on it. You could, in theory, use magnets. I didn't realize that's what those holes were for. So you can drop little magnets in there. This one would be a little tough because it's just a slot and a groove, but you could just kind of maybe put some blue tack in there. They're glued down, but you could do a little bit of work with that. So this, size-wise, remember the new Crisis teams are on the 50mm base as opposed to the 40s from back in the day. And just to give you an idea of the sizing, well, they're a little bit taller when you put the flight stand on there, so you don't necessarily have to go with that if you don't don't really want to, but you definitely get the idea. It's going to have all the weapons and things on there, and then you can have the different systems, because there are separate bits you can buy for the systems depending on what you want, and you get a bunch of them actually in this kit here, and they do sell them separately as a separate blister. And then just some of the random drones here. You've got this one that is very similar to a gun drone right here, which I think is just very adorable looking. I really like these. These are pretty cool because these are a little bit fiddly, and I like something that's just, you can do some designs and stuff and really crack out with this area right here, I feel like. And then the technical one and the shield one, definitely still right about the same size. The problem with the shield drones, and the reason I don't have one, is because my antenna snapped off, and I don't know whether that's because they're a fine cast or what, but these are definitely very sturdy, so I wouldn't be worried about that at all. And you can, I glued it down, dang it. You could, in theory, use the little post here if you wanted to. It glues in, but I would definitely recommend, these slots are good enough that you can pull them off. I did this for the video here. You don't necessarily have to glue them down, but if you wanted to, I don't think they would break off. But I do recommend, you know, if you're going to use the GW flying stands, you're probably going to want to glue them down. And then the very last one I wanted to show you in this video here is this little guy right here, which I just think is really cool because it's like a great big drone. And which I really dig. This was the one I really wanted to see. I forget, what was this? The angelfish, I believe. Let me check. Oh, angel shark. Okay, yeah, everything's got to have that nautical theme. So he basically has two little drones on the front right here, and you have the option of weapon once again, and there are magnet holes in it, so you can swap them out if you really want to. And then it's got the little flight stand hole, and this one's just basically two of the other ones, just to, you know, double slots it together, so they're not reinventing the wheel or anything. It's on there for the most part. I mean, if you're going to carry it around, you might want to make it a little bit more secure with either blue tack or a magnet. But for the most part, I think it's a slam dunk there. And then to give you a comparison to something like the Piranha, well, which I think it would be a great counts as far as like profile goes and everything like that. It is right on par with the sizing and everything. I feel like I couldn't find my flight stands for this, but I do know they are about on the 60 mil flight stand there for the large flight stand. So overall, I think you know, I think these things are great if it's the look you're going for and at the price point you want. So when it comes to great alternatives, you know, you might want to check out Kromlech or, you know, bitsofwar.eu for your very first stop on that road to creating a great counts as or conversion army, or just picking up a specific model because another company might be out of stock or a little bit out of your price range. So that's it for this one. Make sure you check out Kromlech and all the great miniatures they have over there today. If you liked that video feature, consider supporting us over at patreon.com and get back in the mail each month a miniature crate full of some of the stuff we review here, as well as some of the top 3D artist designs out there too, to help support what they're doing. Plus discount coupon codes from some of those same manufacturers. They're yours to keep, whether you cancel or stay on. It's totally up to you. Obviously, we want to keep you as happy as possible. So check it out over at patreon.com/spikybits.